Hi everyone, this is Anne and I want to do another update video on the baby, how everything's going. Tomorrow I'll be 18 weeks on the mark and I haven't done any updates before because I was like, what's there to tell? Like, it's been pretty much the same. I still have that yucky feeling, that kind of queasy feeling all day. I can eat normally though, but it's still a very annoying feeling. Like, it's all the time pretty much, and I don't know, maybe I'll have this my entire pregnancy. I've heard some women have it their entire pregnancy. For a lot of people it gets better around week 14 to 16 and then it starts improving, and for some only at week like 24, so we'll see what happens. I also had like a little bit of like diarrhea-ish I don't know, like some mushy stool the last 2 days, but other than that everything is just as normal. As I said, I got my blood test back from the hospital, and everything is perfect. I had no deficiencies, not even vitamin D, so I was like, wow. The baby is already kicking. It's really early. Like, some say, like, especially if you're a first-time mom, that some only feel it from 20 to 24 weeks, and I'm 17 weeks. And I don't just feel the flutters, I feel the flutters, but I actually feel her kick. And if you look at my like stomach where my uterus is, you sometimes can see it go like this also. And even my boyfriend, I was like, the baby's kicking, and he puts his fingers there and you press a bit, and it's like, she kicks your hand. So I will show you my bum. And should be fine. So this is like really, I love this band so much. This is my bump. I already have a bump, even though I'm only 17 weeks. I'm a first time mom, and this. And the baby's like here. You can feel it, her. But of course she presses like everything else, the bowels and stuff, you know. It's also hard. It's not fat, it's just like hard. You know, about showing, some women show early, some say you can show a little bit later, even in your 20 weeks when you're a first time mom and you have good abs. And I always had good abs, I always worked out, I'm a first time mom, I've always had, you know, I took care of my body. But the thing is that I have a shorter torso in comparison to my legs. I have longer legs in comparison to my upper body. It's the same like with my dad, he has that also. So I think there's, you know, less room for the baby to maybe go upwards and in or something, and I think it might stick out more to the front. I'll be like, if you look at me from behind, you probably won't see I'm pregnant ever, but the baby, I think that's my prediction now, that it will just be like the bump to the front and not really to the side and stuff. So that's what I think. So yeah, because I was lifting weights before this, mostly for my legs, but also complete like total body and stuff. I haven't properly worked out in like the last 3 months that I'm pregnant. Before that I still did, but like the last 3 months I haven't really. So yeah, I lost a bit of muscle, I think, and my weight has gone up now with 1 kilo finally. Because I had not gained any weight. The first weeks I lost, well, I started around 61 to 62 kilos, which is BMI 19.8 or something like that. I'm tall, I'm like 5'9", I'm 1.76 m, but then it went down for like 2 kilograms because I had a lot of morning sickness in the beginning, where I actually couldn't really eat much. I was eating muesli and crackers. That's why I thought I was gonna be deficient or something, because I had weeks of like so little food and like shitty like muesli and shit. But my blood test was still good, so that's why I was really like surprised with it. But basically then it got a little bit better and I gained back my weight and got to like my normal weight of 61, 62, and now I'm at 62.8 kilos. So it's starting, which is good, but of course I don't have much of an extra appetite. But to me, I feel my yucky, like my stomach, like just a yucky feeling, feels better while I'm eating. So I kind of have the tendency to constantly want to snack on something because then I don't feel it. And I was like, why do I have this? Like in the family, I know my mom and stuff, they never had anything like that. But then I asked my grandma from my dad's side, and I look most like my dad and my dad's side of the family, and my grandma had the exact same thing. So maybe if there's some inheriting factor in that I got it from her. My face is starting to fill a bit more again, which is good because I can finally eat, because I was starting to look so gaunt, like from this weeks of morning sickness and feeling like shit. I was like feeling like I was like getting sunken in the cheeks or something, and I just don't like that look. I just like, I don't know, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna age me like like a bitch. But I was reading online that a lot of women had it, and they say after pregnancy it goes like back to normal. So yeah, they also say that it's easier to feel sick and longer sick when you have a girl, and I'm having a girl, so maybe that's also true. I don't know. What I also had, oh my god, is like pregnancy brain or baby brain. It's actually a thing. It's actually where you are just forgetful and you forget everything, like just the most basic things. You know, it's really, really obvious. This week it was actually better. But the previous weeks, we have a car, and then I was in the car and I was taking my keys, and I put a little light on to see where my keys were, but then I forgot to put a little light on, and the next morning our battery was dead. So we had to charge our battery all night to be able to drive again. And then I just go somewhere, I'm like, why am I here? Like I go to the kitchen, I'm like, why am I in the kitchen? And then just these random things that I keep forgetting, like in the store, like 4 times I wanted to get something and I keep forgetting it. But this week was better actually. So I don't know why it's improving. But I also asked this on Facebook. I was like, anyone else like who has this? And a lot of women said yes. And for some it got even worse after birth. I think also because you're taking care of a baby, maybe you're working and all these things, and if you have so much on your mind, it's like easier to forget these things, of course. But that's also a symptom that I had more. So that's what I wanted to mention. I like the big boobs. I don't know if they will get even bigger. Probably when my milk comes in, because there's no milk in it yet. So I'm like, I hope they don't sag out after pregnancy, because I would actually get a boob job. If I had all kids and my boobs like deflate again, I used to have like small boobs, you know, and if they grow and they expand and then they deflate, after I've had kids, all the kids what we want to have, and they become like these empty hanging tea bags, I'm all about like you should love yourself and it's important what's inside, but still I want to live a long life and I don't want to look sagged out, and I still just want to feel confident in my in my body and be beautiful externally for my boyfriend. Like he will always love me. Of course, your partner, if they will love you no matter what, but if certain things about your appearance change, it's not going to be as attractive. You gotta be realistic in that. I know that if he got fat, if I got fat, it's not going to be as attractive as when we're like fit or something like that. So if my boobs are like, if the skin is just hanging there, it's not going to be as attractive. And we're both very honest people in that. We don't get upset about these things, so I definitely would consider that. But that's for everyone else to decide for themselves. But that's only after I've had kids. Like, this is the first one, and then we want more than one. So yeah. So my next appointment to the gynecologist, she's a doctor, she does surgery also and stuff. Like my doctor in the hospital is soon. It's in 2 weeks. Well, less than 2 weeks now. And then we're gonna see the whole anatomy scan. I also had my NIPT test redone because the first time wasn't enough fetal DNA in the blood. But the nurse didn't fill the vial, like my blood stopped, so I think that was why. And my doctor actually, she said, I still get this hiccupy thing. Her daughter had the same thing, but everything was fine with the baby. So I think the baby's fine, looks really good on the ultrasound. Like everything looked perfect, the lips formed, the stomach, because I was already getting scared. I was like, what if something is wrong with this baby? What if it has like some kind, like Edwards syndrome or anything? And I was looking online, I was seeing like all the symptoms that you might see on the echo, like on the ultrasound, and I was checking my ultrasound up close, all the pictures. I was like, okay, nothing, and I couldn't see anything that could indicate it, so I don't think anything's wrong with the little baby. But it's always a stressful moment because, I don't know, you're gonna be scared for your child if it's healthy, in the beginning of your pregnancy, you're scared of miscarriage because 1 in 4 women miscarries. A lot of people don't know that, but I was scared of that. I was like 1 in 4 miscarries. So I was like, oh my God, I don't want to miscarry. And then after birth, you're gonna be scared for the health of your child and like anything happening to them. Like it's always gonna be like that. I also went to get the flu shot with my doctor. They recommend it for pregnant women because if you get the flu and you get fever, you have, first of all, it's dangerous for the baby, but it's also dangerous for you yourself. There's way more complications when a pregnant woman gets flu. Like they have a higher rate of getting complications if they get the flu, like developing pneumonia and shit like that. So it's not just like for the baby, but also to protect myself. I personally had no side effects. I got it here in this arm. It like hurted for 1 day when I was sleeping on it, but then it was over. I know my brother's girlfriend, she was pregnant, she got the flu shot, and she felt like the day after she felt like she was gonna get a cold, but then it was gone. But I didn't have that. My mom gets the flu shot every year, my grandma as well, and they never have symptoms from it at all. They also never get the flu. But I had the flu last year. I didn't have the flu for ages, and I hadn't been sick in 10 years. But then my boyfriend got the flu last year, and I was in a weakened state also with my tooth infection, and I contracted it from him because I'm close to him and we kiss and stuff like that. I just sleep with him next in the bed and stuff. So I contracted it, which I expected. It wasn't so bad regards symptoms, but I had a high fever, 39 degrees Celsius for days, and I do not want to have that when I'm pregnant or like risk getting complications. And I know with the flu, they predict a strain. Usually they're kind of spot on the most common strain that's going around. But last year, I think they were off, and way more people got sick because they were off with the prediction. So hopefully it's that strain that's mostly going around, and it's just a little bit of added protection. Everything's going well. We're now in Belgium. We're settled here. It's just some things we have to arrange. Some people keep asking me if I'm married. We're not married. My boyfriend is from Denmark. I'm from Belgium. And marrying is it's a hassle, let me tell you, because we're from different countries. You might think he's European, you're European, you're both from northern countries and stuff like that. Like it's gonna be easy. No, it's not. This one, like at first we need 6 documents. Then we have to, it's kind of easy to do the first like ones. It's fine, you ask it, it takes a while and it comes back to you from in Denmark, and then you have to translate it in the native language by a real translator. But then there's like the proof of nationality, and you would think a passport is fine. Oh hell no, you need like special documentation of his parents' birth certificates, his school something, and then his birth certificate and something else. And that whole process of them like sending it and doing all that stuff can take 4 to 6 months. And he can only stay here legally for 3 months. So that's way longer than, that's way shorter, I mean. The stay is way shorter than, he would already have to leave before the papers are in and we can even get married, and then he can stay here. So what we did is we registered him also as self-employed, so we do the business together. So that's how, things have been done now, because oh my god, it was such a hassle. Going to everywhere and then trying to get those papers. We went to City Hall 7 times, 8 times, keep having to go back, and then like, oh no, this paper isn't good, you have to get another one. And then we got that one, and then we went to register him, but that wasn't the correct paper to registration for self-employed, and then we had to request a new one, and it's just constantly that paperwork. It's like, ugh. Oh, it's like a pain in the ass. But it's gonna be fine when everything is settled. Still waiting also for our furniture. We have like a couch that we found, a really nice couch, but it's like the delivery time is like 8 to 12 weeks. So we're gonna have this temporary couch from my parents, and then we're waiting because we want to like decide on the coffee table and the other furniture when we have the couch and kind of see it, and then kind of imagine what would look good with it. So yeah, that was my update. I don't think I have anything else to say. But if you have a question or anything, you can leave it in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer. And I will see you next time. Bye!